Look, everybody knows it's the Great Migration, and it's no secret that people are fleeing from downtown condo living. But where are they headed? If you want fresh air and mountain breezes, then you basically have two options when living in or around Albuquerque. You can go to Placitas, or you can go to East Mountains. So in this video, we're gonna break down the differences between living in the East Mountains of Albuquerque and Placitas, which is just a little bit north. Plus, I'm gonna take you behind the mountains so we can visit a couple of little mountain towns like Madrid or Cerrillos. And stay tuned to the end of this video where I'm gonna let you meet a couple of different families that have actually left Texas for cleaner skies here in New Mexico. This is all about Albuquerque. Hey, it's Skip at Soul by Skip, and we make videos like this every week. So if you want to learn everything about Albuquerque, including what it's like to live here, work here, and play here, be sure to tap that subscribe button and ring the little bell. That way you're notified every time we post a new video. Now, my team has been helping people from literally all over the world now buy and sell homes here in Albuquerque and the surrounding areas, and we look forward to connecting with you too. So give me a call or shoot me a text. So it's the Great Migration, but what does that actually mean? Well, since the pandemic, people have been fleeing downtown city living, looking for more space, some acreage, some unique cabin-style homes where you can get almost off the grid, but still have the ability to work from home. And so what we're finding is that people from Albuquerque are moving out to the East Mountains or Placitas. Now, these are the two areas that are just on the outside of town, but what you get with that is privacy, beautiful landscapes, fresh air, wild animals, and it's basically a short commute back to the city. In this video, we're gonna take a tour of both East Mountains like Cedar Crest, Tijeras. We're even going to go around the backside of the mountain and have lunch in a place called Cerrillos. And you'll see that I actually got thrown in jail when we visited Madrid, New Mexico. Couple different things to note. Living in Placitas, you're about 2 exits north of Albuquerque. Without traffic, you're like 15 minutes, you're gonna take I-25 north. And the cool thing is while the distance is further, the speed limit is 75, so you can just bomb straight up there and straight back. I-25 is a people mover that connects Albuquerque, Placitas, all the way up to Santa Fe. And it's not the most beautiful drive I've ever been on, if I'm being honest. It's flat, it's dry, it's dead, it's brown. Now, you can see the mountain out to the right if you're headed north, but in my opinion, the view driving into the East Mountains is going to be beautiful to look at. And when you get into the East Mountains, you're driving on I-40. One thing you got to watch out for driving on I-40 is this is a main road that connects like LA to Chicago. So it's a huge delivery pipeline for the United States, which means every other car that's going to be on the road is one of those 18-wheel trucks. And if you've ever driven beside an 18-wheeler, it's not fun. It's white knuckling. So that's going to be your drive every day if you have to commute to Albuquerque because there's so many semis on that road. The type of home you're going to get in the East Mountains is probably going to be very quirky. There's some mountain cabin style homes, some off-grid homes. In fact, a buddy of mine who I used to play ball with, we just got him under contract to buy a house that's completely off-grid. It's got its own solar system, well, septic. So that's something to be aware of. If you feel like you want to live out in the East Mountains or out in Placitas, there's a good chance you're going to be on a septic system, a well, whether that's a private well, a shared well, or you're gonna be on solar panels. I want you to meet another friend of mine named Mike who relocated from Texas again. Texas, we are just stealing them left and right. You know what I mean? You guys are too expensive. Plus you got all the, the Dallas Cowboys? Anyways, people are leaving Texas, they're coming here and they wanna live in the East Mountains.
Both are unique, but I think you just can't beat the views out here. Hey, I'm Mike, relocating from Austin, Texas to Cedar Crest, New Mexico, just to be out in the great outdoors, just access to trails and outdoor lifestyle. It's been incredibly smooth. Skip's done a great job of communicating with us, which was really important to us as out-of-state buyers, and just a really good job with updates and video walkthroughs, photographs, anything that we needed was done for us, and now seeing it in person is exactly what we expected. I recommend using Soul by Skip.
You know, in these small mountain towns like Madrid, if you get caught saying things like, welcome to Madrid, New Mexico, it's not Madrid, it's Madrid. And in fact, what they'll do is they'll lock you in the slammer here in the Madrid jail. So I'm gonna spend the night here If I don't come home soon, send help. Now, Madrid is one of these fun towns. It's an old school artist community. Now, the population is something like 300 people, but the allure of living in Madrid, or at least visiting there for the day, is that there's quirky buildings, quirky people, and I always recommend stopping by the mine shaft to visit our favorite bartender. Now, hanging out in Madrid is one of those fun places where everybody goes and it's make a nice little Sunday out of it. You know, the population is so small that everybody knows each other and everybody takes care of each other because it's kind of like, you know, you have to have a secret handshake if you want to live in Madrid. And to speak to that, the cemetery has a waiting list, right? Because it's kind of an honor if you live there, you want to be buried in the Madrid cemetery. Because the cool thing is that the local artists always do creative headstones for you. So if you were a baseball player like me, you would have, you know, baseball mitt or something coming out of the headstone, which is kind of like a cool thing, right? As we continue up the backside of the mountain, we find another small little mining town called Cerrillos. Now, Cerrillos is known for their Blackbird Cafe. Now, this is one of those cafes that's just a throwback to when the town was actually founded. The menu is fantastic, and the owners, I think, actually live out back. We talked to them, they're awesome people. I always recommend getting the burger. So both of these towns are located just outside Albuquerque, actually in between the East Mountains and Placitas. So take a day and go explore, it's pretty fun. So we covered a lot of ground in this video, all the way from the East Mountains up to Placitas and around back. So if you're getting any value out of this video, do me a favor and just tap that little like button. It really helps us out. Go ahead, tap it. One of the main differences between living in Placitas, which is north of Albuquerque, and living in the East Mountains would be the shopping and amenities. I feel like in my experience, I drove around and looking for shopping, and I feel like East Mountains takes it here. There's more restaurants, things to do, more shops, offices, cafes, and shopping and grocery stores, which I think you're gonna need because sometimes when you live in the mountains, if it snows, they'll shut down I-40, which is the main road that gets you into the East Mountains. One of the main differences that you'll find living in the East Mountains versus living in Placitas are the views. There's a couple different ways to look at it. So think about it. If you wanna wake up in the morning and see a breathtaking view of the Sandia Mountains, then Placitas is going to be the place for you. Now, Placitas' elevation is about 6,000 feet, and that's because it's at the base of the mountain, which means you can look out your window and see the mountain. You get all the benefits of the rolling hills and the foothills, some hiking and biking trails, but you're not exactly in the mountain. You have a view of the mountain. Living in the East Mountains, you're surrounded by trees and all the benefits of living in the mountain, like the fresh air, squirrels and stuff running around. But you don't have that view of the mountain because you're living in the mountain. In the East Mountains of New Mexico, one of the best communities that you can live in is called Paako. Now, Paako is a phenomenal community, and we spent a lot of time up there just exploring the golf course, the community center. And the cool thing about it is hitting a golf ball at elevation. Now, I know I've talked about this previously, but if you've never hit a golf ball at 6,500 feet in elevation, dude, right here, you feel like Mark McGuire and the Bash Brothers, dude. The ball flies. And aside from the insanely nice clubhouse and happy hours that they host out on the deck, one of the cool things about Paako is that there's still the ability to build homes. So if you want a custom home, you have the ability to buy a lot and build it there. Now, I want you to meet one family that came out from Houston, Texas, because let's be honest, yeah, Texas, no bueno. So they came out to New Mexico searching for a great community where they could build and be in the mountains.
Hey, I'm Peter.
Hi, I'm Karuna.
I'm from Houston.
And we are just exploring Paako. It's incredibly different than what we're used to in Houston. And the thing that is just so appealing to us is the exact opposite. We love the possible seclusion and the isolation of Paako in this beautiful setting. And so it's really enticing.
Building a custom home doesn't mean you just pick a whatever floor plan. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, a lot that we're still gonna have to discover, but it's a great process and we're excited about getting into it.
And we've had a lot of questions, again, coming from a place that's so different. And Skip has been very receptive, very responsive to all our questions, and been just really easy to work with.
Some of the pros and cons of living on the mountain or near the mountain is that you might get radon gas in your house. Now, radon gas happens when, the granite limestone decomposes underneath the ground. The radon gas will rise to the top, and sometimes it can get stuck in your property. So that's one of the quirky things about living in the East Mountains and Placitas, is that you may have to watch for radon gas.
But radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the country, second only to tobacco smoke.
Oh, wow.
And historically, you didn't hear a lot about it because homes were built so leaky. They weren't super tight. There was a lot of natural air exchange that took place in older homes. But as we increase the energy efficiency of our buildings, we're tightening up those building envelopes so that homes are being built close to airtight these days. Better windows, better doors, better sealants. So when you're living in a Ziploc bag, that radon comes up from the Earth's crust, gets in your home, and then it can't escape. You're breathing it, and those radon levels can really become dangerous.
Another benefit of living in the East Mountains is that when it snows, we have a ski mountain right here. It's like 2 streets away from Paako. So if you live in Paako, you just drive over to the ski mountain, and you're right there for a quick afternoon of skiing. Again, so if you're part of that great migration and you're thinking about making a move to, in, or around Albuquerque, be sure to reach out. Just give me a call or shoot me a text. I'll reach out to you personally. Wait! Before you leave, I want to share another video I think you might find informative by clicking up here. And lastly, friends, don't forget to subscribe here by clicking this link to stay up to date with future videos. As always, visit soldbyskip.com for a free list of homes priced to sell. Thanks for watching.